3D Train Stuff. That name has been around the show for a while. We've seen their MSTS versions of Donner Pass, West Colton, and Cajon Pass. Now, they've done something completely different. They've built a train simulator. It's not MSTS, it's not Railworks, and it's not Trains with a Z. It's called Run 8. Will this sim find its place in the train simulation realm? We'll take it full throttle at the Railyard. Run 8 is a brand new simulation created entirely by 3D Train Stuff. It includes the Union Pacific Mojave subdivision from Bakersfield to Mojave over the famous Tehachapi Pass, and the BNSF Mojave subdivision linking Mojave to Barstow. A trip from end to end will take at least 4 hours if you obey the speed limits. The era is modern, so you'll be pulling intermodal and manifest freight trains with GEVOs. The detailing on these models is outstanding, and the GEVOs include features you've never seen before in a sim. For example, locomotives are not automatically running when you start the sim. You go through a startup procedure involving flipping switches and turning knobs. For an entire train, you use a menu system to connect your locomotive's electrical cables together and prepare your helper units, known as DPUs. The physics in this simulator are incredibly realistic. Heavy trains feel heavy as they climb the grade, and you'll be on your toes as you start to descend it. One aspect of real railroading operations replicated here is coupler slack. You can hear when the cars on your train are either bunching together or stretching out. If your train has DPUs, you can also control what is known in railroading terms as a fence. When applied, your helper locomotives can be operated separately from your lead locomotives by using radio control. For example, let's say you have a long, heavy train that is cresting a grade. To keep control of it, you can have the front locomotives in dynamic brake mode and your DPUs still pushing on the tail end. The cab is one of the most detailed of any sim. Not only are all of the levers operational, but the computer screens, which are called MFDs, actually display real information about your train, including axle count, horsepower per ton ratio, and the DPU fence control. You can even walk around it and open the front door. While the sim is stable, and it does work, the scenery is not complete everywhere. Some of the terrain textures should have grassy areas, The weather is only clear, and there are currently no shadows implemented in the sim. The documentation is pretty good, including things like a video detailing locomotive startup procedures and a guide to the MFDs. But beginners to the sim may still want to read the bulletins on the Run 8 forums if there are questions the documentation doesn't answer. Also, keep in mind that this sim has one major feature to consider: multiplayer. The ability for multiple people to interact while in a train simulator. It's been done before, but never like this. In a multiplayer session, your fellow crew members appear in the world as actual people. You can interact with them on the ground and in the cab. What this means is that you can have true engineer-conductor interactions just as you would in real life. Additionally, it's neat when you're driving a train and you see a real rail fan wave to you. In addition to having the option of operating a train, you can also be a dispatcher. Mainline switches and signals are controlled by a dispatching board, so you control who gets to move and where they go. There's different levels of control over this feature as well. The session host can either limit the dispatching to just one person, give the controls to select individuals, or give everyone control of the board. When you're operating the sim on your own, you can operate your train and the board at the same time. The signals that you see along the route are accurate, and they will synchronize to what the dispatcher has said. While it has room for improvement, Run 8 is one of the most realistic simulators developed, and real-life engineers and conductors have stated that the physics in this sim are very true to life. Multiplayer provides a dimension of railroading that is incredibly immersive. The question of whether or not you should buy it depends on a few factors. If you've never operated a train in any simulator before this one, the learning curve will be very steep, and I'd recommend getting used to train simulation with something else before you move to this. I also wouldn't recommend this for younger kids, just because there are a lot of details that could be overwhelming. If what you're looking for is an operational challenge that feels rewarding once you've mastered it, and you want to interact with other trains being run by real people, you will have a great time with Run 8. The core software is solid, and it is a simulator that can be taken seriously. While I don't give my seal of approval to simulators themselves, if I did, Run 8 would definitely get one.